Hello.
Hi, Rachel. I just learned you just graduated from MIT. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So today we would like to have a conversation about how music impact uh, students when they grow up. When did you start to learn music, and how did you get into piano?
Yeah, so I've been playing the piano since I was, according to my parents, 3 years and 9 months old.
Wow.
It started off when I think my mom wanted to learn the piano, so she started taking lessons a little bit, and then she decided to start teaching me. And then yeah, I've been playing piano ever since. So it's been like 17 years. So music has been basically there for me as long as I remember. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, and it seems like that's your mom's idea, but back then,
Mhm.
what did you feel? So, how did you feel? Did you like it, or you were okay, or
Uh-huh. Well, honestly, I don't really remember how I felt when I was really young. So maybe I don't really know then. I think like it was more like it got into my routine basically. And I kind of it was a little bit like I sort of did it because it was part of my routine every day. But then as I got even older, I think that was when I started to really, appreciate what music played in my life, the important role it has. And as I grew older, I think I grew to love it even more and even more. And now it's basically reached the point where I don't know what I would be without this like music identity part of my life. Yeah.
it's great. It seems like you are very passionate with music since you were very young. So, what makes music special to you? You think?
Yeah. So I think for me, music is a way for me to express my emotions. So I think, especially, I think high school was like a tough period of time where, a lot of things were just like very stressful. And I was kind of able to let out all those emotions like on the piano and be able to, like different pieces kind of show different emotions. And, sometimes in a very good mood, I play like a lighthearted, maybe like, I don't know, Mozart sonata. And then like, if I'm like, feeling more like, oh, stressed, turbulent, wants to let this out, like, I don't know, like a Scriabin etude or something, like, so it was really a way for me to, I think like it plays a huge part to be like my stress relief, basically. I think um, it really, because sometimes you can't really convey in words, what you're feeling. And I
Mhm.
think music is just like the, you know, a really good form of communication. Yeah.
Piano is very technical, demanding on time. Uh, how did you manage in your school life? You have to
Mhm.
finish the academic works, and you have to practice the piano.
Right, right. Um, so I think first of all, if you love something, you'll be able to fit like time, like make time for it. For me, since I kind of talked about before, like it really was a way for me to release stress. Like actually, it felt like a almost like a break to like the work that I was doing at school.
Mhm.
And obviously, if we were like preparing for like competition and stuff, I would, need to squeeze in more time and it would be a little bit difficult to balance, I think. Part of, I think, in order to balance is like, I guess, just like trying to work on time management. I think doing music definitely taught me a lot about time management.
Tell me about how you feel when you prepare a piece and eventually perform on stage.
Right. Yeah. So actually, I think stage fright and doing like seeing a pool of people, the public, was actually one of my like biggest fears. Like I think that I really had to just do it many, many times to like kind of get used to it. Doing a lot of, I guess, like performances on stage over time definitely helped make me feel like more mature on stage. I think this translated very well for when I actually did debate in high school. I didn't, I was, very scared of public speaking, and I knew that I had to do something to like improve that, or else the real world needs us to speak all the time. And I joined my speech and debate team in my high school in 10th grade. And of course, I started off, very nervous, but I definitely think that many of these, similar mental like techniques for playing on stage in front of a group of audience to debating in front of another group of audience, it's like a lot of the same kind of skills, I think, that are required. So I think it translated very well. And then, now obviously in college, I'm not debating anymore, but I definitely still need to speak. I still need to, deal with audiences. And I think like performing, just without performing, I think I would not have been able to, learn as quickly as I could have, for sure. Yeah.
That's great. Maybe other students would like to know, in order to prepare to get into university like MIT, what you have to really present, or in other words, what those university are looking for to pick the students. I'm sure there are many qualified students, but what you attract their attention.
Right. Yeah. So just as a disclaimer first, whatever I say is just like maybe my own opinion. I can talk a little bit about like how I, made my story kind of fit and like mold in, and I guess I can talk a little bit about that. So I think my story, basically, I wanted to use the activities that I do to convey a story that kind of shows colleges what kind of person I am and what kind of principles that I follow, and what I will be like as a student at their school. So I guess for me, right, I talked about how, I have my 3 things that I really devoted a lot of time into, but it's not the act of just doing the things, it's what you learn from those things. And I think the gist of my application, a lot of it was I used details about what I did in those 3 activities to kind of convey first that I was, very hardworking. I was very passionate about what I was doing. And so therefore, I was able to also do them pretty okayly well. And then third, that it helped me feel a lot more confident in myself. So I think like part of that, I think, you don't say that explicitly, but like because you can tell the story about what you did and contributed in these 3, like for my case, these 3 different activities, I think I was able to, show these qualities about myself that I think may have helped my application.
That's great. That's great. Online of should prepare. Well, let's move forward. Okay, now you in MIT universities. So how's the life there when you got in first year?
Yeah. So honestly, I was actually very homesick the first semester, especially. I am very close with my family and my high school friends, and being away from home for the first time was so difficult for me. And what ended up helping me adjusting a lot more actually was my freshman spring, I decided to go out of my comfort zone and audition for this a cappella group. The a cappella group's name is called Syncopation, and basically we sing like a lot of East Asian interest kind of songs. So like we sing English songs, but we also sing like Chinese songs, Korean songs, Japanese songs, etc. And I really met my most solid group of friends in that group, and I've been in the a cappella group ever since, like basically the rest of my time at MIT. All of us are very, love music, but also all of us have like, most of us, I think, don't actually major in music, but we all just love music, and that's what unites us all together. So it's very, I got to meet all these different kinds of people with different interests, and it really, I feel like, embodies what college is supposed to be for, which is to meet these amazing and inspiring people that you hope to make lifelong friends with. So I think that for me, like this was a huge part of my MIT experience. So I think like yeah, like this was it was very life changing for me once I joined the acapella group. I joined college a lot more. But you know, outside of these like social activities, like obviously like MIT was also it was just like incredible how just like so many cool people, professors, students, everyone that you interact with, everybody has such a cool story and it really, really is inspirational. And they really are going to be like lifelong mentors for me as well. So all very valuable, I think, to my overall MIT experience. Yeah.
Yeah, fascinating, fascinating. That's great. And I thought MIT was full of the nerds and a very boring place, but it actually turns out you guys are full of life there. That's great. Well, so I'm sure a lot of young people are looking for their future and they're preparing to go to college or decide their future, uh, interest. What do
Mhm.
you say to school students if you were advising them?
Yeah. So what I would probably say is pick, you know, two or three things that you are truly deeply interested in and pour yourself into them. Like this, you know, a lot of colleges are, you know, you're going to write a lot of essays, but these essays will come much more naturally if you have these truly deep feelings for what you are doing and like naturally, right, you'll be able to talk about them a lot more with passion and that will show in your essays. And I'm sure that also, you know, would show to the admissions. So yeah, I would say, you know, pick these things that you really want to focus on. Don't spread yourself too thin. I think there's a misconception that you should just do a lot of different things and like pad up your resume. But I think what's much more valuable for not only for college, but for life too, is to figure out, you know, what your passions are and what you're truly interested in and what you want to pursue with your career, as well as what lifelong, you know, hobbies that you want in your life. So yeah, I think that's what I would probably say.
That's great, great. And then I would like to express my very sincere thank you for taking time to talk to me and giving advice to the young people. And again, congratulations on graduating from MIT, and best wishes, and I wish you the best in
Thank
your future.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Rachel.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye
Yeah.
bye. Talk to you soon.